I blew up at my husband for lying to me about my sister and her baby leaving when he actually kicked her out. My sister Danielle moved in with us 2 weeks before everything fell apart. She's 20 and her ex turned mean when she got pregnant. She showed up with her 5-month-old son Liam and 2 garbage bags of clothes. I asked my husband Todd if it was okay and he said yes right away. First week was fine. Danielle did dishes and kept Liam in her room, but babies cry at night and our bedroom shares a wall with the guest room. Todd started looking like death at breakfast. He'd say I got maybe 3 hours of sleep. I suggested earplugs and he snapped that he shouldn't have to wear earplugs in his own house. My friend Ashley died in a car accident 2 weeks after Danielle moved in. I had to drive 3 hours for the funeral. Todd said he'd work from home the next day to watch Danielle. I left Thursday morning. The funeral wrecked me and I stayed overnight at Ashley's mom's place. I texted Todd I'd be home Friday around 2. He sent back a thumbs up. When I got home, the house was dead silent. Todd came out of his office looking relaxed. I asked where Danielle was and he said she left this morning. A friend offered her a place to stay. He handed me a folded piece of notebook paper. The note said thanks for letting me stay and I found a better situation with my friend Christy. But Danielle doesn't have a friend named Christy, and she writes in huge loopy letters with hearts. This was printed small and careful. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. Todd said, oh, she left her phone and unplugged it from the kitchen charger. I said, why would she leave without her phone? And he shrugged. I called my mom, nothing. My aunt, nothing. I spent the whole weekend calling Danielle's phone knowing she didn't have it. Monday at work, I got a call from a random number. It was Danielle crying so hard her voice kept cracking. She said Todd kicked her out the morning I left. He waited until I texted that I was staying overnight, then told her she had to leave. He said he didn't sign up for a screaming baby. He gave her $40 and drove her to the end of our street. She walked 2 miles to a shelter carrying Liam in August heat. She'd been there 6 days. She ran out of formula on day 3 and had been watering it down. A woman at the shelter let her use a phone. I left work right then. I drove home shaking. Todd was on the couch watching TV. He looked up and smiled. I said, where is Danielle really? He said, I told you she left. I said, I just talked to her. His smile dropped. He said, okay, fine. I told her to leave because I'm not running a charity. I said, you lied to my face and faked a letter. He said I was protecting you from her drama. I started screaming. He got in my face and said, if you want to throw away our marriage over someone who can't get their life together, that's on you. I said, I'm bringing her back tomorrow. He said, if you do, I'm changing the locks and you can stay gone. I said, this is my house too. He said, actually, it's my house. I bought it before we met and your name isn't on anything. That's when it clicked. I'd been paying half the mortgage for 3 years, but legally, I had nothing. At 6 the next morning, I heard his car leave. I packed my laptop and documents and clothes into 2 suitcases. I got to the shelter at 10. Danielle was holding Liam, and he was doing that exhausted baby cry. She saw me and her face crumpled. I signed her out. In the car, she told me Todd said I knew about her leaving, that we'd discussed it. She believed him because why would he lie? We pulled up to my house at noon and Todd's car was in the driveway. I used my key and the door opened. All my stuff was packed in boxes in the living room. My clothes, my books, everything. Todd was sitting at the kitchen table drinking coffee. He looked at us and said, I told you what would happen. I said, you packed my stuff. He said, I'm saving you the trouble since you made your choice. He walked to the door and held it open. I grabbed the nearest box. We made 4 trips to my car. He just watched. When we were done, I turned around and he was on the porch with his arms crossed. I said, I can't believe you. He said, I can't believe you're picking her over our marriage. Like he dead ass thought I'd leave her in that shelter. 2 blocks away, I had to pull over because I couldn't stop shaking. My phone buzzed. Text from Todd saying, you'll be back tonight when you realize what you gave up. We checked into a motel. I called my mom and told her everything. She said, you're both coming here. I'm clearing the spare room right now. We moved in with my mom 3 days later. I filed for separation that week.